When golfers come to me and say, Alex, I want to get more consistent, I say you have to check your elbow position and distance from the golf ball on every single swing. That way, you're going to be able to find the middle more often. Finding the middle means more consistency and more distance. We are addressing these questions here today on the channel. And if you want to get involved, just pop your comment or query about your swing down below and we pick them at random. So you better make sure you subscribe and turn the bell. That way you don't miss me addressing your swing issue. So the first thing we're going to look at is this elbow position. And I do this before every shot, and I'm getting all my students that come to me for a lesson to do it also. I'm going to show you how far we're going to hit this as well, so some proof in the pudding. Now, I want you to check this for me, and I want you to feel like always our elbows, so here is on top of our hips, or are on top of our hips. So our elbows are always on top of our hips, not to the side. Now, how I would go about this is this order. I would take my grip, so take your grip as you would normally, we're not changing that. And I don't want to make sure I'm doing this and hunching myself, keeping my shoulder blades back. I want you to feel like we put our elbows in front. Now really just watch how I did that. You can see here I'm going wide and then pointing the elbows down. So if there's two lasers coming out my elbows, I want to feel they're pointing straight down into my hips here, then over the golf ball. You can see now that frees me up to have the ability to move my arms and body all together. If they're on the side, this is why we get a little bit flicky, a little bit wristy, because our arms don't have the ability to move. So that's the first thing I want you to check before every shot. Now look how far this goes, because you'll be surprised just making that error will cost you so much distance. So making it right will add some yards to you. Coming back into the middle of the fairway. Have a look how far this just went. We'd take that every single time. Now, let's address that distance from the golf ball issue, because if you're too far away or you're too close, you're gonna feel a little bit stuck or reaching for it. And that's one of the biggest issues that I see, why people don't find the middle consistently. Now this is really important, making sure you've got the right distance from the golf ball every single time, with your driver and with your irons if you want to be consistent. Now what we're looking for on a full shot is roughly a hand span between the grip end of the club and your belt buckle. Now that might sound really easy, but you've got to follow this 5-step process to make sure you've got that distance from the ball right every single time. Now, don't worry what this looks like. If you're banging it 255, 265, even 270 plus down the middle, you will not care. So this is the same process no matter if you're using your driver or your irons. Now, I want to just make sure you understand this. Our ball position in our stance is the only thing that would change in this process relative to the club that you've got. Okay, step 1 of 5, elbows in front. I've already shown you that in this video, so we already know that. Step number 2, let's go near the golf ball and lower the club parallel to the ground, keeping our feet together. That's step number 2. Step number 3, keeping the same distance, roughly a hand span, from the butt end of the club to our belt buckle, tilt over until the club hits the ground, okay? Step number 4, we're gonna slightly soften the knees and take our stance, okay? Included in that step number 4, I want you just to shuffle into the golf ball, keeping everything equidistant. Now, step number 5 is dead easy. Check your hand span with your grip hand, or even just let your hand rock through. You should be able to get a clear distance to allow that hand to rock through that space. But can you see that there? I've broken that down into 5 steps. That would take no more than 10 seconds to do, but let me hit this one away and show you how far this goes. Here we go, look at this fly. My fade coming back into the middle of that fairway, exactly what I want to see when I'm playing golf. Cold morning, imagine that in the summer. 2 68. Okay, so this is how quick that process can be. Look, over, I'm just gonna do it with this T-peg. Together, lower, over, take my stance, check, hit. That is as easy and as quick as that process can be. Do that with your 5-iron, try it with your hybrid. This is something that I know will allow you to line the middle up. Think about this logically. If you're too far away, you're going to be overcompensating and reaching from the golf ball. If you're too close at address, you're going to have to try and sort of get out the way of yourself and try and find the middle. What I'm trying to say here is, if you've not got the right distance, you've got to try and find the middle. Having the right distance means you can get it every single time, or certainly increases your chance. Thanks so much for watching.